Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a new Sun and Moon video. I of course am pokeaimMD, and we got some new information on exclusive Pokemon to Sun and to Moon that came out today, and I just want to show you. I don't want to play the video because the last video actually got taken down. I accidentally actually played the video for like a few seconds. But first off, we have Passimian, a monkey Pokemon that is exclusive to Pokemon Sun version. Now, being pure fighting type, not too bad. Fighting stab is actually very solid. If you couple that with dark, like if you give this thing knockoff and then give it an option to deal with fairies, maybe poison jab, iron tail, though iron tail doesn't really hit. Really love the design on this mon though, and I love that it has a new ability called Receiver, and Receiver is actually very unique. I sound like the Pokemon site itself. We have a new exclusive Pokemon, unique to Pokemon Sun and Moon, and unique to Passimian. But basically, it actually says unique ability right here. But basically, it's an ability that is very solid in doubles as well as in VGC. Now, what this does is that if your partner is knocked out, you gain their ability. So actually in the clip itself, there was a Vikavolt, and Vikavolt was actually just knocked out. And as you can see right here, Passimian took over the Levitate. So this has a lot of applications in doubles as well as VGC, as I already said. I'll give you the example of a Landorus versus Rotom Wash, a Landorus and Zard Y versus Rotom Wash, and Passimian. If Zard Y knocks out Rotom Wash with the Solar Beam, and then Passimian traces, or not traces, but receives that Levitate, Landorus can no longer click Earthquake, and it already resists U-Turn as well as Rock Slide, assuming it's not Scarf Landorus, obviously, and it doesn't Earthquake first. But that's just an example of how that can come into play. I don't think that you can actually receive the ability in singles. So let's say my Hippowdon was just knocked out and Sand ended, and then I brought this thing out. I don't think that it would trace like Sandstream like that. I don't think it would work like that. I think the Pokemon has to be next to you. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure. Let's actually look at what Cerebi has to say about this, because I do want to see. Cerebi, I feel like, clarifies it. But the Receiver ability allows the Pokemon to inherit the ability of an ally when the ally faints. Yeah, and usually ally refers to the Pokemon next to you. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. In any case, it is a monkey Pokemon too, so it does have access or potential access to moves like Slack Off. Obviously, it shares that fighting type with Infernape, so potentially maybe those can breed and it can get Slack Off from that, or it can get Slack Off from like Slack Off itself, or Slacking, not the baby, but well, I guess it could go with the baby. I don't know. That's not something I want to get into. But yeah, being a pure fighting type, really cool offensive typing. I'm already thinking about moves like Super Power, Close Combat. I actually hope it gets Close Combat over Super Power. I feel like that's better. If you're going to drop your defenses, at least don't drop your attack as well. But next up we have another monkey, or I guess ape, that is more... A lot of people were saying Harambe, but it's exclusive to Pokemon Moon, and that is Oranguru. Now, Oranguru is normal and psychic type, and it has two really cool abilities, or two good abilities, again in doubles as well as VGC, which is Inner Focus as well as Telepathy. Also, if this video gets taken down, I just want to say I'm just going to add clips in the back. I'm just gonna add screenshots in the background so you guys can know what I'm talking about instead of clicking through the video. But Inner Focus as well as Telepathy. Now, it is normal and psychic. It shares that typing with Girafarig, and psychic actually isn't bad stab. It automatically makes me assume that this thing is gonna get or have access to Trick Room, and Telepathy is really nice because it's not going to be hit by ally moves or by spread moves, and remind me later, but it's not going to be hit by it's moves like Earthquake or like Surf, for example, which is the example they have. And obviously Inner Focus prevents you from being flinched. So in singles, Inner Focus might be the better ability because Telepathy is pretty much useless. But you know, For example, if Lopunny tries to go for Fake Out versus you, Mega Lopunny, assuming there are Megas, if Mega Lopunny tries to go for Fake Out versus you, obviously won't flinch, and you can get off a Stab Psychic and knock it out. So if Mega Lopunny is just trying to get off that ability, or that Mega in itself. But yeah, Telepathy is actually really cool, and this thing has a really cool move that is actually very deadly, I feel, to VGC. Not just because this Pokemon can learn it, but I'll talk about what I mean. Oranguru does have access to this new move called Instruct. Now, in the video clip itself, it showed Wishy-Washy using Surf. And obviously, Telepathy meant that Oranguru was not hit by that. But also, Oranguru used Instruct after. And what that did was, it instructed the Pokemon to use Surf again. See, Wishy-Washy used the move instructed by Oranguru. It used Surf. And this has a ton of applications. And obviously, Oranguru avoids attacks by its ally Pokemon because of Telepathy. So, this has a ton of, examples where it could be used. You can... let's take it back to, for example, if Primal Groudon and stuff was allowed. Let's take it back to 2016. Imagine being able to use Instruct on a Primal Groudon and having Precipice Blades going twice in that turn, or Origin Pulse going twice in that turn, or Dragon Ascent going twice in that turn, or Dark Void. Using Dark Void and having it go twice. I do want to say why I feel like this will be ridiculously scary, because it actually gives Smeargle another toy to play with. Now, Smeargle is already nasty in itself, has access to Fake Out. Obviously, Moody, its ability is pretty crazy to play around. And then Dark Void is just the big thing that Smeargle has going for it. Getting off Dark Voids, putting both of your opponent's Pokemon to sleep. Now, imagine Smeargle being able to put you to sleep. Let's say Smeargle's out. I'm going to give you another example just to, again, put it into perspective. If Smeargle is out on the field and then you have a Kangaskhan, you just switched in Mega Kangaskhan, right? And Smeargle's out on the field, Smeargle just used Dark Void. Both of the opponents were hit, unfortunately, and now they're both asleep. And you have Mega Kangaskhan on the field. Now, Mega Kangaskhan Mega Evolves and uses Double Edge, knocks out the Pokemon on the left, or the right, okay? Let's say, for example, it knocks out Mudsdale in this example, and that's not Marowak. Let's say it's not Marowak. Let's say it's regular Marowak, not the Ghost Marowak. Or, I guess, okay, let's... Alright, that's Rotom Wash on the side. That's Rotom Wash and Mudsdale. So, it uses Double Edge on Mudsdale, and then Smeargle instructs it to use Double Edge again. Let's say Mudsdale went down. Now it can Double Edge the second Pokemon and potentially knock it out. I mean, it's Double Edge, so it's probably going to be taking the recoil. But you see what I'm saying? How Smeargle just has a new toy to play with, how it can allow a powerful Pokemon like Zard Y. Again, I'm using Megas, and I don't even know if Megas are going to be in the game, but I'm just using them because they come to mind right away. Or Mega Gardevoir uses Hyper Voice, then Smeargle instructs it to use Hyper Voice again under Trick Room. So now you have two powerful Pixelate boosted Spread Move Hyper Voices. They might not even be Spread Move anymore, because if the first one knocks something out, now something is taking a full power Hyper Voice. So just imagine Smeargle. Imagine the... this is a very solid move in VGC. And again, I don't think Instruct has very many applications outside of that, but it does allow the target Pokemon to reuse the move that it just used. So I guess, for example, I don't know how fast this thing will be, but let's say Trick Room is up and then Gengar used Shadow Ball on this thing. Obviously that doesn't work, and it uses Instruct. It forces Gengar to use Shadow Ball again, wasting PP, maybe PP stalling. I don't even know. And then in case Psychic and Normal is really interesting stab, because like I said, you're immune to Ghost. So Gengar, for example, can't hit you with that. But obviously then Gengar could still hit you with neutral, strong Sludge Wave. And Focus Blast is also neutral and also a strong attack at that. But I love the designs on both of these Pokemon. I love the version exclusive. I love that the first one is a receiver. I love football. And I guess this is more so rugby. But... I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the designs. I love the Pokemon. And let's actually move on to another version exclusive pair that we have. If you guys didn't know, before it was revealed that Rockruff did have two different forms in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. They were version exclusive evolutions. Now, in Pokemon Sun, we have the English name Lycanroc, the midday form with a really solid ability. And I'm not talking about Keen Eye, okay? Get Keen Eye, just don't even look at Keen Eye, okay? You can't. Just don't even look at it. Alright, because nobody's using Sand Attack on your Pokemon. But you have Sand Rush on a pure rock type Pokemon. Sand Rush is an amazing ability that doubles your speed under sand. I already can see Hippowdons. I can already see Jambad pairing this with Hippowdon and Tentacruel with Toxic Tentacruel. Maybe Cofagrigus. But yeah, just a pure rock type Pokemon. Being pure rock type is a really great stab. Again, resisted by what? Fighting, ground, steel. At the top of my head, that's all I can remember. Maybe there is more that I'm not remembering. But it's just great pure stab. Not too much resistant. It's strong. Usually you have powerful attacks like Stone Edge. Even Rock Slide isn't bad. Obviously, with that, you trade accuracy for your powerful attacks. But having Sand Rush automatically doubling speed for nothing automatically makes it a more solid Pokemon than what it could be. Just getting that speed boost for absolutely nothing. And this thing actually has access to a new move, which is a Cell Rock. And if you guys didn't know before, a Cell Rock is actually a priority rock type attack. And what that does is it obviously allows Lycanroc, understand, just imagine a Cell Rock. One, it's going to be super fast, and then understand it's already faster than every priority user outside of, like, you know, priority that's more than +1, like extreme speed, like fake out. But being able to just attack first, Pokemon like Talonflame, and knocking them out with a Cell Rock, obviously. And then you have, let's say this thing has access to Howl because it is a wolf. If it does have access to a boosting move, maybe it'll even get Swords Dance. Who knows? I can see Bulk Up. I could see Howl. That's pretty much all I can see. Maybe I don't know if it learns Swords Dance. I doubt that. But if it does learn Swords Dance, great. It's a Swords Dance user under sand. Speaking, kind of reminds you of Excadrill, right? Except this thing has an attack that can hit everything. Rock is great. This thing isn't walled by Rotom. Rock is just such great stab. I'm hoping it kind of gets a new rock move on top of a Cell Rock. Obviously, like a strong rock move that can actually hit, because, I mean, if my best move is 80% accurate, is that really a best move? Can you really call it that, you know? So I'm really hoping that it gets some sort of new rock move on top of the Accelerock that I got. And obviously that's the Accelerock, I think. That's what it's called. Accelerock, yeah. That's the US name as well. So, yeah, in any case, if you actually look at the clip, I'm not going to play the clip, but there's a Cloyster versus a Lycanroc. And what Lycanroc does is it uses a Accelerock before, I keep calling it a Accelerock like it's a Cellgore. A Accelerock, my bad. But it uses a Accelerock before Cloyster uses Ice Shard. Now, Cloyster hits 262 speed. This thing is already faster than Cloyster, okay? Naturally faster than Cloyster. That's great. It's going to be a great speed Sand Rush abuser. I'll talk about a Pokemon that's already faster than Cloyster by only a couple points, and that would be Adamant Excadrill. Adamant Excadrill is only faster than Cloyster by a couple points. And then there's obviously Jolly, which is over 300 speed. But if this thing is somewhere around that speed mark, a great Sand Rush abuser, already faster than most, if not all, Scarfers. If it has less than... If it has around Cloyster speed, then it's not going to be faster than a Pokemon like Scarfladios or something like that. But how often do you use Scarf or even see Scarfladios? And actually, the meta is going to change as we keep playing. So, you know how it goes. But I really do hope that this thing gets access to something outside of Stone Edge. Maybe some sort of boosting move that can abuse that. If it wants to really thrive under sand, I think it needs access to a move like Superpower. I could definitely see it getting Superpower. Maybe Close Combat Earthquake. Maybe not Earthquake just because Mightyena doesn't really get it. Even Mightyena, I wish that thing got Superpower. But, yeah, Accelerock, move like Stone Edge, maybe Ice Fang for like Landorus and Gliscor, and then either a boosting move or like some sort of fighting move, ground move, running around. This thing could definitely be a threat. Just the boosting move in general, being able to pick off weaker or weakened priority users that have super effective coverage versus me. I'm talking about a weakened Azumarill, which can Aqua Jet you and pick you off, maybe, depending on damage, depending on how bulky this thing is. But if you're boosted, you're obviously going to be faster, and you can get off your Accelerock and maybe knock him out if you're boosted enough. But next up, we have the Midnight form, which I thought was super cool, which is exclusive to the Pokemon Moon version, and that's Lycanroc Midnight form, with access to Keen Eye and Vital Spirit. Now, not too fond of its abilities. Keen Eye, I already mentioned that that's not too... It's not really used in competitive play, not too useful, excuse me, in competitive play. And then it has Vital Spirit. Vital Spirit's really cool. Vital Spirit obviously makes you immune to sleep moves, and it also means you can't use rest. But yeah, the sleep moves that come off like the top of my head right now would be Hypnosis, Dark Void. Okay, great, you're immune to those. But the more common sleep moves would be Spore, Sleep Powder. And you know what Pokemon use those? Usually grass types, usually Pokemon that have the type advantage versus Lycanroc. It is pure rock. A lot of people speculated that the Sun version would be pure rock and that the Moon version would be rock dark, but it's actually just pure rock. Again, it's still great stab, and maybe it'll be even stronger offensively than its midday form, but I actually love its midday form. I also love the design on this Midnight form, but it kind of has that Zoroark feel, which is why some people were like leaning away from it. But yeah, being able to switch in on Pokemon like Tangrowth, on Pokemon like Amoonguss, great. You can switch into Spore and Sleep Powders on Pokemon like Breloom, right? But then they threaten you with their stab Mach Punches, their stab Giga Drains, and you really can't knock them out from there. So it's a cool ability, but I don't really see too many uses in, I guess, in singles, but maybe in doubles with Vital Spirit not being able to put to sleep. Maybe it'll have some cool moves like Wide Guard. It's a rock type, so I'm assuming it's gonna have like that because it's a rock type attack. Maybe Wide Guard, so this could have some cool this could work in doubles, maybe, depending on what it gets. But I do love the Midnight form. I wish it got a Accelerock. Apparently only the Sun version, the midday form gets it, but the midnight form gets like counter. Like, what type of trade-off is that? Give me the priority rock type attack. But in any case, let's actually move on to another thing I want to talk about. I mean, you can customize your Pokemon again, great. Or excuse me, you can customize yourself, great. You can look fresh, fly, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to look like. I'm definitely going to be, like, if I was the girl, I would definitely take this hat off. Like, what am I doing? Barnacle head. Is that a SpongeBob quote? I feel like that is a SpongeBob. Barnacle head. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh, Team Skull up in here with cheetah print. And then obviously you can groom your Pokemon. That's cool. I do want to talk about one more thing, the exclusive Z moves. I kind of want to skip Pikachu's. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know too much about it. I just know it looks cool and it's strong, okay? Catastrophic Pikachu, or Catastrophic Pika. But the one I really want to talk about is the Captain Planet one. My boy Eevee getting pretty much what Eevee does. It summons all of its brethren, its evolutions, and they all, like, basically it's a super Geomancy boost. What happens is they all, like, the Captain Planet up in here with my power combined with your powers combined, I'm Captain Planet, and they hit Eevee, and it gives Eevee, it sharply raises excuse me, it raises the attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed by 2. So Eevee now has +2 every single stat outside of evasion. And Eevee has access to a Baton Pass. Eevee has access to adaptability as one of its abilities, and what that does is that double stab. So imagine a +2, +2, +2, +2 Eevee just wrecking you at return. And also having access to quick attack priority, and it has access to Baton Pass, which is a huge thing. I could see this thing being nasty in doubles as well as even in singles. I'm not sure that Baton Pass would actually stay around for too long, just because we've dealt with Baton Pass in many generations, and we've always, you know, tried and, you know, clip its wings and just make it not too much of a threat, since Baton Pass, as some people think, is not skill. But I'm not going to say my opinion on that. But in any case, I can see an Eevee just wrecking in a Little Cup. I think this thing would be banned from Little Cup using this Z move. I love the way the thing it's called too. What is it? Extreme Evo Boost. I love it. But also, I can see this thing having doing work in not only Little Cup, but even the small tiers like PU, NU. Key actually made a joke saying that Dennis is already making his Baton Pass team right now. And if you guys didn't know, Dennis was a person who really influenced the Baton Pass meta, whether it be in 4th gen, 5th gen, or 6th gen. He actually had some sort of 4th gen one going out. It's more, not really Baton Pass, more like SD, Agilipass, but in any case, I can see an Eevee putting in work. Definitely timer stalling as well. If you guys didn't know, its Z move looks like it takes up a ton of time. It took forever to use that. And just baton passing in VGC or I don't know, just I could definitely see Eevee putting in work even in VGC, even with facing monsters, especially when you have Pokemon that can use Follow Me, that can use Rage Powder and force your Pokemon to attack. Not Eevee, but the Mon next to it. And then you have fat Pokemon that do that. There's Clef, there's Amoonguss that could do that with Rage Powder, with Follow Me, but you know, both of them, they don't both have Rage Powder or Follow Me, it's one or the other. But in any case, I could definitely see Eevee putting in work, and I want to know your guys' thoughts, obviously, down below, so leave your thoughts on what you thought about this. Yes, great sentence right there. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, give me your thoughts, leave them down below. You can subscribe for some more analysis on trailers, and well, the main thing is actually competitive Pokemon, especially when Sun and Moon comes out and Let's Plays and all that stuff. But I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, friends.